Ma'am, like everybody won't be that easily available every day in the evening, no, ma'am.
Madam,
Officers,
initially I
labs,
logged
and
into with my mobile, madam. I could not switch off it. Then I opened my system. That is why it is
Okay,
showing.
okay, okay. No, no, I'm just counting the numbers, sir.
Okay.
I have no issue.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Okay, so yesterday we started with unit on intelligence. So, will you, any one of you, able to repeat what all the concepts we discussed yesterday?
We spoke what exactly intelligence is, the definition, saying that
Hmm.
it is dealing with the adjustment and the mental ability of an
Hmm.
individual.
Hmm.
Then rationally, how the people think rationally, that means practically
Hmm.
how it's almost like an approach towards the environment, his behavior, and so on. So, ability of an individual to
Huh.
act purposefully or practically towards
Hmm.
existing
Hmm.
situation. And then we have also discussed about the bell-shaped curve
Hmm.
and what exactly is IQ. IQ need not be same for everybody and so on.
Huh.
So all this and then how the intelligence can be distributed, like how it is distributed
Yes.
based on the gifted, the retarded, and yeah, the below average and so on. So
Yes.
all this we
Yes.
have discussed, ma'am, yesterday.
Yes.
Classification of retardation. Today we have
Sorry.
discussed.
Classification.
Classification
Yes.
of
Yes.
retardation also we have discussed.
We
Yeah,
have
we
also
already
discussed
discussed about
Some
classification.
established facts of intelligence. Established facts of
Yes.
intelligence.
we have also
Yes.
discussed G factor and S factor also. Important
Yes.
specific.
What's the formula for IQ?
MA MA by CA into Hydra
Yeah,
100.
memory theory, yes, ma'am.
100. MA by CA into 100. How to calculate
100.
MA?
MA
MA
is that
mental ability.
mental age, no, ma'am. That
Huh.
depends on how he responds. Maybe sixth class student is not able to answer. The fourth
Okay.
class
So
student,
all of you,
fourth is
whatever you people are listening, getting the point. Yes, you
yes.
people are
Yeah.
understanding.
Yes, ma'am.
Happy. Okay. So yes, actually yesterday I forgot to discuss one thing, that whenever we are talking about intelligence, it's a combination of nature and nurture. Yes, how these two factors, actually nature and nurture, is contributing for intelligence. Yes, so what exactly comes under nature?
Is the innate quality of the person.
When
genetics,
we
ma'am,
say it
genes
is
and
innate, genetic
genes,
factors, very
genes.
good. Yes,
Like,
so genetical factors do play an important role in the formation of intelligence. So how do we assess, as a psychologist in the subject of psychology, how do we assess role of genetics in the formation of intelligence, or any aspect? Any clue? We are not
When
uh, yes.
when we say genetics, like we say maybe it is the characters being inherited from one generation to the other.
But how do we study?
we
How a
see the
psychologist study? I'm not talking about a medical practitioner who actually works on genetics. I'm talking about a general psychologist, how he studies about genetics.
like does he see the chromosomes or the genes getting inherited? Those that studies come under here. Like, are these proteins or these are they getting transcribed
We are
from?
not from medical background.
Madam,
Okay.
twins are graded separately. Identical twins are graded in a
Exactly.
separate
So
background.
there are different methods to assess the role of genetics in any aspect. Yes, what is the contribution of genes in the formation of personality, or in the formation of attitudes or intelligence, whatever it is? How genetics play a role? To study that, we use different methods. In that, the first one is like adoption methods or twin studies. Yes, we do conduct research or experimentation on twins, how twins are reared together, and what's their behavior when they are reared apart. Yes, and adoption studies, to what extent a adopted child shows or exhibits the behavior or intelligence of their parents. Yes, so we can study these by using these methods we can study the role of genetics. Along with this adoption studies and twin studies, we can study through this longitudinal studies since many years how a child is performing his day-to-day tasks. Is there any change? Okay, so twin studies, there are two methods: twins reared separate and reared together. Adoption studies, so this adoption studies, again there are two types. One is a child is reared with his what we call genetical parents or the adopted parents. So is there any difference, is there any similarity? Then longitudinal studies are long term studies, like years together. A psychologist observes the behavior of an individual, and based on that he comes to an conclusion. Yes, so mostly to understand the culture and lifestyle changes in the society and all these things, we do go ahead with this longitudinal studies. So to study the role of genetics also, we do adapt all these methods. Then this is about nature, and nurture is about environment. So how a person's family, yes, his society, culture, and various other factors influences, like his education or availability of the resources, economic system, societal, what we can say, political structure. All these factors also definitely contribute for the growth of intelligence. So when there is a communication or association of nature and nurture, a complete formation of intelligence takes place in a person. Yes, if any one of this missing or not exposed completely, then there is definitely a lack in the growth of intelligence. Yes, that's the reason many psychologists, they suggest parents not to direct the children. Yes, most of the times what we do, if we assign any work to the children, we do direct them, we do try to explain like how to do it. We don't provide any scope for a child to let them think and let them do the things the way they want. Yes, most of the times parents do interfere and do give the directions. So when we over guide the child, then there will be a very very less scope to get explore the things and enhance their growth in the intelligence. So that's the reason we should always expose the child to various fields and many more things. Yes, so there should be less in direction and more in exposure. So this is about your role of heredity and environment. I'm not going in detail, please read about, because nothing is there to explain about these factors. Yes, so next it's about moving towards, it's about theories of intelligence. As already yesterday we discussed about Spearman's two-factor theory. So two-factor theory according to Charles Spearman is G factor and S factor. G factor is general factor and S factor is a specific factor. Yes, so we can have his formula. If you see overall intelligence, the sum of total intelligence, yes, the overall intelligence we can calculate as G plus S1 plus S2 plus S3. G is a general or specific factor or a base factor of intelligence within a person. S factor is a very specific capability or ability of an individual that differs person to person. Then, so there are criticisms for this two-factor theory, that how come these two factors only, how come one individual will have more specific factors, when Spearman called it as a two-factor theory. So Spearman could not explain about this, how come people will have these multiple factors, yes, and how we can separate this G factor and S factor. So based on this, but still this is most popular because it's given an idea that how we can evaluate an intelligence. So based on this two-factor theory, another theories were introduced. In that, one important theory was group factor or multi-factor theory, which was given by Thurston in 1938. So he rejected the idea of general intelligence. Yes, there is no one component of general intelligence. It's like we can't separate intelligence uh, as like combined fact. Sorry, uh, what he said, we can't divide intelligence as one specific or general factor. He said the entire intelligence will be is a combination of numerous separate factors. Yes, it's not only about two or one, one specific and one general. So instead of viewing intelligence as a single general ability, Thurston said that it's a actually to come up this theory. uh, what he did, he actually studied various intelligent tests, yes, around 56 intelligent tests, and he used uh, like whenever we are you all there, or only I'm just go on speaking?
No, ma'am, we are there, ma'am.
Okay. Yes.
Yes, we are.
Will you all able to see the slides?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
Ma'am.
Okay. So before he came up with the concept of this multiple factor theory or primary factor theory, here what happens, he actually studied 56 various intelligence tests, and he observed one factor, that out of all these 56 different intelligence tests, people were scored high in seven primary mental abilities. Yes. So based on that, he concluded that all the human beings will have these seven factors. So each one will have more capability in one factor, and another person will have high capability in another factor. But intelligence is a combination of these seven factors according to this Thurston. Clear? Yes, it's
Yes.
not a single general ability or a specific ability. It's a combination of different seven multiple factors or primary mental abilities. So, more or less, every individual uses these seven mental abilities or skills to show their intelligence. So, those are verbal factor. Yes, it's like communication, verbal comprehension, how well we understand the meaning, how well we understand the language and usage of language, that is verbal factor. Spatial factor is how the objects are placed in the space, in the universe. So people are whoever, for example, if we say this interior designers and other people, they can by locating the area, they can imagine the objects which one are well suited in that and in which angle. Yes. So these people are having very high ability of imagining the object in a space compared to other individuals. Then numerical ability. Numerical ability is how rapidly a person can calculate the mathematical aspects. Memory factor, yes, people, few of them will have a great memory. Then reasoning factor. So reasoning ability is like uh, reasoning we not yet discussed it. So This reasoning factors is how well a person can analyze the things. Yes, how well he can understand the principles and series of uh, like connectivity between the objects and situations or events. Yes. Then perceptual, we already discussed about this perception very clearly, what exactly this perception is. Ability to understand, ability to sense and evaluate the things. Then problem solving ability, related to anything, right from academics to lifetime problems. So all these are the different mental abilities will be placed in an individual at the different levels. So according to Thurston, these primary mental abilities is known as intelligence.
Is
Okay,
it known as,
so
ma'am?
based, sorry,
What is it known as?
no, all these seven primary mental abilities whatever he discussed, every
Yeah.
individual will have all this. So
Oh,
this is, yeah, this is his theory. According to him, this is an
uh,
intelligence is a combination of all these seven factors.
yes, ma'am. Thank you.
So based on these seven factors also, he developed a test that is known as primary mental abilities. Then next intelligence theory is about Cattell's intelligence theory. uh, Actually, where you heard this term, like name Cattle, other than in intelligence, any idea? Somewhere you studied about cattle elaboratively.
Perception.
Huh?
So far, no, madam. So far,
So far, no. Do
name
you
it.
have a personality paper? No, no.
No, ma'am, we don't have personality.
First year you don't have personality paper. Okay.
No.
No,
Okay. Okay.
ma'am. Second year, I think.
Okay. Yes, yes, yes. So Cattle is very famous uh, in personality. He actually contributed a lot to explain about the structure, how the structure of personality will forms. So here in intelligence also he has given a theory as known as fluid and crystallized intelligence. So fluid intelligence actually, according to him, it talks about inherited abilities. Yes. So the person which whatever the capabilities he born with, that is known as fluid intelligence, and crystallized intelligence is acquired intelligence from the environment. Okay. So here it is about ability to think on the spot and solve novel problems. It's all about by birth abilities. Fluid intelligence is about right from, it's an innate quality. Crystallized intelligence is an acquired quality. If you remember these two key points, then you can write elaboratively about this theory. Yes. So fluid intelligence will have its own rigidness. If the person takes birth with average intelligence, within that limit only he will learn from the environment. Yes. Then the next theory is about Guilford's three-dimensional theory. It's actually very important theory. uh, Instead of saying it as a theory, we can say it is a model. Yes. So he actually explained so well about the structure of intelligence, how actually we use the concept of intelligence in our day to day life. Yes. How we do exhibit this intelligence. I already shared this PPT with you all. So That's the reason I'm just explaining quickly about
When
all
did you
these
did you give
concepts.
it to our coordinator, ma'am? Did you
Yes,
already
yes.
share it to our
Yesterday
coordinator?
itself I
Okay.
shared. Yesterday itself I
Thank
shared.
you, sir. Thank you.
The same PPT I shared, so no need to copy or yes worry about. Yes. So the same the structure whatever we are talking, it's overall can be classified as three components. Those are operations, contents and products. Yes, whenever we are using our intelligence, we use these three classifications: operations, contents and products. So in each category there are subdivisions. In operations there are 6 subdivisions, contents 5, products 6. So 6 into 5 into 6. Okay. So now each one we will discuss. In operations, the 6 categories are cognition, yes, then memory, memory recording, memory retention. Yes, memory recording is how well we can encode the information. Whatever you are listening right now, how much is reaching to your brain, how much you are able to understand, how much you can grasp the information, that is your memory recording. Memory retention is later, tomorrow or day after tomorrow, if I ask the same information, how much you can recall and able to explain. Yes, that's the ability. Then divergent and convergent thinking, these two, it's a divergent thinking is for a single problem how many alternatives we can get. Yes, then convergent is for a general problem you are giving a very specific and clear solution for it, that is convergent. Yes, divergent is generating multiple solutions for a problem. Convergent is single solution, you are coming to a very single and specific solution. Yes, then evaluation, ability to judge similarities, differences and anything, relationships or understanding others. So how well you can evaluate the people, situations or environment around you. So these are the 6 areas which actually comes under operations. Then content is about visual, auditory, symbolic, semantic, behavioral. All these are the various resources through which you can receive or collect the information. Then products. Products are ultimate outcomes. So these we can classify as units, that can be words, shapes, facial expressions. Then we can organize into uh, groups. Okay, so I hope you all clear with all this information. Yes, what comes under operations, what comes under contents, what comes under products. Yes, it's very much related to your memory. You should memorize all this. But how actually you use this? For example, you are reading a newspaper. Yes, there is some information in that. So when you are reading that information, here the first thing you are using the content. What is the source of that information? That is a visual information is there, symbolic information is there, semantic information is there. Yes, when you are reading a newspaper, you are actually seeing those images or words or something. So some is visual information you are grasping. Then symbolic, you are observing some signs and symbols. Okay. Then semantic, whatever the content you are reading that relates to words, and those words will have some meaning. Yes, some facts. So this is related to content. Then what you are doing, this content you are relating to your operations. Yes, what you will do, You may use your thought process like thinking, or you may relate this to your memory. This news, the present news, you may relate to your past news, whatever the knowledge you have, the previous knowledge. Will make it more specific? Will anybody give any recent news? What is happening? I'm no way aware of what's going on around me. Anything, what's happening around in the world. Today's news, please. Are you all there?
Yes, madam.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Your voice was breaking, ma'am.
Okay.
No, your voice is clear.
Is it
Maybe
clear
at
now?
my end it is breaking. Yeah, it is
Yes,
clear.
clear, clear,
From
ma'am.
Okay. I'm just asking what's happening around us, like news for
Ukraine
today.
war, ma'am. Russia and Ukraine war.
Huh?
That is also news.
news, there was a train blast in Bihar. Train was burnt because of the riots of that
Train
having
got
that four
burned
years
due
of
to what?
a train was burnt in Bihar protesting against
Huh?
how are they going to be trained in 4 years and all that. So that's a
Okay.
controversy which will happen in circle. So that is one. Second thing is Ukraine war. Putin has decided to capture all the places which is already captured to include them in the Russian Federation and wanted to start some sort of a rehabilitation camp for them and allocating some budget when it comes to that war.
It's going over my head. Just not able to connect it. Uh,
You un- you
if
were able to
others
listen to my
able to
voice.
understand, if others able to understand this, because I'm just not in that uh, saying, like, very much preoccupied with my own work, so all this information is just going above my head. So if others are able to uh, connect this news, able to understand about this news, this is a content for us. Yes. So a train in the Bihar train got burnt due to some protest or something. So this protest, maybe you can relate to the previous protest or anything related to, like, see, whenever we are using a content that could be in any form, we do use some operations to this to relate this what it is. Yes, you sometimes we may use our memory, sometimes we may use our cognition or evaluation. Yes, any one or multiple operations we may use. We may use one or more contents. Are you getting what I'm trying to explain, you people?
Yes, madam.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
But
Yes.
if that be the case, madam, this serial order should be content should come first, then only
That's
after
what I'm
this.
saying.
Ah,
Content. Here in the slide, it's given differently. But sometimes what happens first, it's not exactly like always content, then operation, then product is the end product, always will be there, but there may be an interchange between this content and operations. Sometimes we may think something and we relate that thinking or memory or some information to the symbols or signs. Yes, already I have an opinion of my cognition is how I'm uh, evaluating an event. For example, I have evaluated by heard some I heard that maybe my boss is very aggressive person or something, so in my evaluation, yes, he is very aggressive, he never ever communicates with others or something. Then what I see, I have no way connected to the with this person and never interacted with this person, but I already developed an opinion about an individual. So I have seen, apparently, I have seen this person is shouting on others. Yes. So I have no clue what happened before this event, whose mistake was that, but I have seen this boss was shouting on one of the employee. So based on whatever already the cognition took place in my mind, or whatever the preconceived notion I have developed towards that person, this present behavioral act of that individual I'm correlating, and coming my end product is how my evaluations. Yes, I'm coming to a conclusion that this person is more aggressive, never ever empathize with others. That is my product, that is my end product. Yes, that comes under units like facial expression or shapes. So I do, if anybody asks me about my boss, I do explain, yes, like what kind of very aggressive person he is, never understands others or something. Or whenever I see that person, my facial expressions definitely changes. Okay, so it's our intelligence is totally depends on these three aspects: how well we are using our operations, contents, and products. What's our end product? So that through this end product only we can see one's intellectual capability. Yes. So these three classifications in your book, it's given very simple, elaboratively. Please refer. So in one class, I just can't explain the entire thing, and I can't make you memorize all these things. I just give a brief overview of these theories. That's it. It's totally depends on you how well you people practice. Then Gardner. After this uh, Guilford's theory, Guilford's three-dimensional theory. The next important widely used theory is Howard Gardner's theory. It's known as multiple intelligence theory. So this is right now in the present scenario also it's widely used. So according to Gardner, there are 8 types of intelligence. So, initially, what Thurston gave, more or less, Gardner also came up with the same concept. And according to him, there are 8 types of intelligences, multiple intelligence factors individuals will have. So, these are uh, yes. So these are visual, spatial, verbal or linguistic, logical or mathematical, bodily, kinesthetic. Yes, there are few people whoever has this kinesthetic ability, uh, they do able to manipulate the objects very easily. Manipulate doesn't mean don't take it in a negative form. It's like how well they can use the objects. Yes, uh, there are people who are very good in mechanical works. Yes, operating works. So they do have this bodily kinesthetic ability. Then musical ability, interpersonal, intrapersonal, and natural. So when Gardner developed this theory based on this interpersonal, intrapersonal, these two are very, very important concepts, because previous theories were not explained about the social intelligence. It's like only they spoke about the individual's abilities, but they did not explain about a person's ability to communicate with others or communicate and understand themselves. So Gardner was the first person who explained about this interpersonal and intrapersonal concepts. Yes, later he came up with the natural ability of an individual. Okay, so no need to, I think no need to explain about all these factors again. I hope everyone is clear with, yes, musical ability and uh, any doubts in this. If you have, if you require any extra clarifications, please feel free to ask.
What is the difference between interpersonal and intrapersonal, madam? Interpersonal, I could understand per person.
Interpersonal with others. Intrapersonal is understanding the self.
Acha, self introspection.
Yes. The naturalist is a laterly, like recently developed area in Gardner. So it is about how well we understand the living beings, whatever it is. There are people who very much love to love the nature. Yes, wants to be in the nature, try to protect the nature, like our Jaggi Vasudev. Now he is protesting, or what we can say, uh, it's not protesting, but
Ecology protection.
Awareness and movement, ma'am.
yeah, maybe a movement or awareness to save the soil. Yes, so this type of people comes under naturalist. Yes, who loves the animals, plants, and nature, environment. So that's a specific ability of an individual. Everyone will have, but naturalist will have more, and they do readily takes actions to protect or uh, create some awareness in people, or they do take some action to do something for the nature. Yes, actually, these are the very, very important theories in intelligence. So, most probably, this Gardner's theory and Guilford's theory, Cattell's theory is observed frequently uh, asked in intelligence theories. For this time, if they ask any other theory, sorry, I'm not responsible. Okay, Cattell, Guilford, and Gardner's theories are very, very important in intelligence theories. So next one is about process oriented theories. So it's just mentioned in your textbooks, but I never observed there was any question on this. So this process theories is uh, is is totally depends on cognitive abilities. So they do talk about reasoning and thinking and other aspects, other cognitive aspects than this intelligence. Yes, whatever the structure or factors, whatever we discussed in previous theories, that was not given importance, but the cognitive abilities were given importance over here. So these process oriented theories were given by Piaget and Bruno. So, according to Piaget, intelligence is an adaptive process. In the definitions also, we discussed very elaboratively that intelligence is a person's ability to adapt his environment. Yes. If the person scores high in intelligent tests and unable to communicate with others and understands others, do you think the person have really possess the high intelligence? So recently, Gardner have wrote a blog on true intelligence. Yes, it's not there in your syllabus. Just for your awareness and giving this information. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So according
Yes,
to
ma'am.
Gardner, its intelligence is not that whatever we score in our tests, intelligent tests. Yes, that's not true intelligence. According to him, true intelligence is, see, whenever we observe our intelligent test, those contents, the questions were actually not related to the problems, whatever we face in our day to day life. Yes. For example, uh, due to the family lifestyle, if a person unable to reaches his workplace on time every day, it's a problem for him. Yes, if he unable to understand where he is lacking in the time management and resolve it, It definitely is a challenge for his intelligence. Please, whoever is unmuted, please check and mute yourself. So, these type of questions are not asked in intelligent tests. Intelligent tests are, the content is mostly related to, for example, if we take non-verbal test, it's all about signs and symbols. Verbal test, it's all about some questions, but not directly related to day-to-day life problems. Then performance test, if we take, all it's about how well you can use the objects, how well you can place the objects, how well you can use the cubes structure, how well you can make a structure of a cube or a pattern of something. So these are very much away from our day to day problems. So, according to the Gardner, intelligence is not what we score in intelligent tests. Intelligence is that where we can identify the problem in our day to day lives, yes, and evaluate and deal with it effectively. So the person who ever has this adaptive strategy or adaptive ability, that person is known as true intellectual person. Yes. So here Piaget's concept also, it's about adaptive. According to him, intelligence is an adaptive process. Whatever the innate ability you have, how well you are using that ability to deal with the day-to-day issues or environment. So how well the person understands the people, society, culture. Yes. Then he focused more on schemas, assimilation, and accommodation. These are the different concepts. So how many of you knows about schema? What exactly schema is?
Schema is a format based on our experience we form in our mind, madam.
Huh. Yes. So schema is nothing but individual elements related to any stimulus or object. Yes. If I use a term bird, immediately what do you remember? If I say fish, what do you remember? If I say a tree, what do you remember? Yes. For all these three objects, all these three things, you have different individual elements. Yes. If you have to describe a bird, a fish, or tree, you will describe in a different way, like you use different elements. Yes, a tree will have its branches, leaves, flowers, colors, and other things. And fish, you have to explain about fish. It's an water creature, or it will have its own what it's called, fix. Yes. So each element explains about that particular object. So schema is nothing but that individual character which explains about that object. So whatever the ideology we already developed to explain any object is nothing but schema. So assimilation is about using our knowledge to explain about the things and the previous knowledge. And accommodation is how well you can, whatever the knowledge you have, how you can add more to that. Yes. Whatever the knowledge I have about tree, what else I can add to it? Yes, there are so many different families in the tree. Yes. So what is the extra information I can add to the present knowledge whatever I have towards anything? So it's about how much individual elements you know to explain about a product. Then whatever your uh, past knowledge you have, how you can use it for the present. Then whatever the knowledge you have, how much knowledge you can add to it. So this talks about your intelligence. Yes. If wherever I am, if I stagnated there itself, there is no growth, there is no maturation, then do you maturity in his thoughts, in his feelings, in his understanding, then do you call that person as intellectual person? Definitely not. We do call a person as intelligent, where he always try to learn something new. Yes, try to adapt something new. So whatever the past experience and knowledge we have, we always try to add something to it and explore it. Then we call that person as an intellectual person. Okay, so this is the concept which is given by Piaget. So his totally depends on how well we can adapt to the environment, how well we use our cognitive abilities. So that talks about intelligence.
Ma'am, in the same way, like intelligent quotient can also be
Hmm.
calculated, like general intelligent quotient we calculate, no?
Uh,
As per Piaget definition, does both are same, ma'am, or both are different?
See, IQ concept is totally, it's about your age and mental age. Yes. So here, all these theories, whatever they are talking about, they are talking in individual elements. That overall IQ formula is about the wholest. It's a complete thing. But these theories are talking about individual elements of that wholeness.
Okay, okay,
Yes.
okay, ma'am, thank you.
Yeah.
Ma'am,
Do you
excuse me,
have
this is regarding the operations what you were explaining. So the
operations
divergent,
in?
yeah, divergent productions and convergent. Is it the solutions that is given for a particular problem in both the situations?
I didn't get what exactly
No,
you are
ma'am,
trying
like
to
you
ask.
said, convergent, what is it,
Convergent and
production?
divergent
It
thinking.
is
Okay.
finding a single solution, you said. Okay. And
Convergent is finding a single solution.
single solution, whereas
Huh.
divergent is finding various
Multiple
alternatives,
solutions.
multiple solutions. So the
Yes.
problem remains the same.
No, no, it's not about the same problem.
Okay. It
It's
can be
like,
any problem.
can be anything.
Okay. Yes,
Yes.
ma'am. Thank you.
How many different solutions you can get to solve
Okay.
one particular problem? That is
Okay.
one kind of ability. And there
Okay.
are people who will come up with one exact solution.
Okay. That is convergent.
Convergent.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes. So we should have both the things. In some situations, we need to use multiple solutions. In some
Yes.
situations, we need to come up with one
Only one solution.
clear cut solution.
Yes.
Yes. So I have prepared this slide, but do you have? Okay. Stenberg's triarchic theory you have. Yes. So this triarchic theory, there are three concepts in this Stenberg's theory. Those are componential, experiential, and contextual. So componential thinking, it's about, uh, give me 1 minute, what exactly here it's given. Yes,
Something
it's
like
about ability
analyzing
to think
or
critically,
reasoning or something.
analytically. Yes. So it's all about your thought process. Componential or analytical, it's an analytical reasoning. Then second one is experiential or creative intelligence. So it's all about how creative you are. Creative. Here we got a term creativity. So tell me one thing: creativity is an innate ability or acquired ability?
Acquired.
It's
It can
innate,
be
no,
both,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Both.
Innate ability, ma'am.
To
Innate it is.
It can be
completely
both also.
innate ability. How?
It
Okay,
can it can be both, ma'am.
it can be
Maybe
both.
something creative. It can't be
Uh,
both, ma'am.
creativity is not ability, it's a skill. Yes. So in the previous class also I told you ability, whenever we are using the term ability, it talks about innate quality. Whenever we use the term skill, it's an acquired. Yes. That's the reason, the fact when we explain like there is no correlation between intelligence and creativity. Every person can be creative in his or her respective uh, domain. Yes. So creativity is mostly is a need base. First you need to identify the need, then gather some information, and how well you can solve that or overcome that need. Yes. So in our day to day life, whatever the creations you see, that could be laptop or mobile or TVs or anything, it's all to overcome some need. Yes, the present Google Meet also is a creative idea based on fulfilling the need. Yes, how we can gather people from the different regions. Okay, so creativity is a skill, every person can acquire it. So here experiential thinking is about uh, insight learning, like how creative they are, how well they can understand their own skills and abilities. This is about experiential thinking, and contextual is about uh, see how quickly you can respond, how quickly you can resolve or come up with the solutions. Yes. So these two, whatever we discussed, Piaget's and Stenberg's, these two are the process theories. So they are only talking about the on-field activities. It's not about like your mind structure or ability or something, how it forms and how you will exhibit that. It's all about how you are looking towards your environment and how you are act upon it. Yes. So Piaget's theory talks about this knowledge, how you are gathering, how you are using it. Yes, what's your approach? Here, Stenberg talks about how you are utilizing your cognitive skills to overcome the challenges and how you can you generate multiple problems, there's no use of it. Yes. So it should be contextual, it should be experiential, based on your maturity, based on your information, gathering of information, how much knowledge you have. Then it's about how well you can analyze or understand. So these are the three abilities: analytical, creative, and contextual or practical. So analytical is compare, evaluate, and analyze the events. Then creativity, how well you are using your insights, synthesis, adapting to unique situations. Then practical is dealing with everyday tasks relating to world. So Gardner in his blog, exactly he wrote about these three abilities. So the person who exhibit these abilities to solve their day-to-day life problems, that person is known as a true intellectual person, not that person who scores high in intelligent tests. Clear? Clear with the theories?
Yes, madam.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so yeah, you don't have this measurement of intelligence. I think this. Uh, Give me one moment. Okay, measurement of intelligence is your 25th unit. Okay. Yes. So this measurement we'll discuss tomorrow.
Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Okay.
this
Yeah.
intelligence test, verbal and non-verbal, like how it is different from a group test and the individual
That's
test.
what we will discuss tomorrow.
Okay, okay, okay,
Yes.
ma'am.
Yeah. There is no much difference between verbal and non-verbal test. So here there are types of tests like verbal, non-verbal, and performance test. So verbal, non-verbal test we can administer at individual level and at group level. But only performance test we can administer at individual level. We have we can administer on one individual or group of people at a time. Yes. So if we
Okay.
speak,
It's like a person is uh, like clearing any test to get the job. All this
uh,
this
okay, I'll
individual
give an
test.
example. There's bank exams. You will be having some reasoning ability test.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this reasoning ability test questionnaire we can give to group of people at a time. Yes, we can
Okay.
administer this reasoning test on group of people at the same time, and we can give the same test to an individual and administer his own like intellectual ability. So the same intelligent test can be administered on individual level and at the group level. So what are those intelligent tests we can administer at individual and group level? Those are verbal and non-verbal tests. We will discuss elaboratively what exactly verbal test, what exactly non-verbal test. Yes.
Okay. Okay, ma'am.
And
Thank you.
there is one more classification is known as performance test. So this performance test we can't administer on group altogether, but we can administer only on individual at a time. Okay, tomorrow we will discuss about this measurement of intelligence.
Individual differences also you'll be taking tomorrow, ma'am.
Individual differences, please try to refer your own by
Okay.
yourself. Yes,
Okay, ma'am.
it's
Sure.
all about gender achievement, aptitude, attitude. That's it. Nothing
Okay.
much to explain about.
Okay, ma'am. Sure. Thank you.
If I complete these units, then I can go to this biological aspect. Otherwise, it's highly impossible
Okay.
to.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, then. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, madam.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Out of this 15, oh, now it's only 15 members. Okay. Out of this 15 members, how many of you actually attended offline classes?
Ma'am,
Offline.
I attended just two classes
Ever
too.
seen me offline?
Madam,
No?
we are
Try to raise your hand. Let me see how many of you actually attended offline. Okay.
I'm also
One,
participated.
two, three, four.
I was not aware, madam. After I came to know, I was quarantined for some time. I could not attend offline classes.
Okay, okay, okay. Not okay. Thank you. Thanks for your patience. Please try to motivate others to attend the classes.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay then. Bye. Bye everyone.
Good
Thank
night,
you,
ma'am.
madam.
Bye,
Good
ma'am.
night.
Bye, ma'am. Good night.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good night, ma'am.